so I am, what is this? 280 south. And I think I'm going the right way. There's like a trail over here that I used to hit up all the time. I remember my mom would like yell at me because I would ride my bike, but then I would just go and then it would get dark and then I would turn around too late. So then it would be like super late because the trail is like 20 miles long or something like that. Alright, I love it. Dude, I found a Bollywood radio station. How fucking cool is that? That is fucking epic. Oh my god! You don't know how cool that is. That's super cool. To me, that is fucking amazing. I love it. I love it. Alright, bye. I love it. Alright, I think I took the right exit. It's Black Mountain Road. And then you just, well, it depends what direction you're coming. I can't tell you that. But basically Black Mountain Road and you head... Dude, I don't know. Oh, it's icy. I love that my car tells me that. Okay, I'm almost there. Alright, I love you. Bye. Dude, this is awesome. I didn't even know, you could have a Bollywood radio station. I'm just dumb, I guess, because I'm like, dude, that's fucking epic. Now I want to listen to the radio. How crazy is that? I always listened to the radio when I was a kid too, though. All right, I'm at the walking trail. There's 3 other cars here, so that means there's other people walking. I'm just gonna bring like a flashlight. I got 2 flashlights. I'll bring both of them. But I'll check back in. You know what? I might bring my selfie stick because it's like in the morning. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna bring my my headphones though, so I can listen to music. All right, I love you, and I will talk to you later. I'll talk to you soon, actually, because I'm gonna be walking. I notice that like when I walk, it just gets it gets my blood flowing. I get creative. So I mean that's really cool. I appreciate that. All right. 93 FM, Bali. I love you. All right. Bye. Bam, there it is. 6 in the morning. I don't want to blow you out, but I used to come to this trail all the time when I was a kid. Sawyer Camp Trail. Okay, I'm gonna head down. So can't smoke on the trail, okay? Sawyer Camp Trail. All right, so this is the South Gate entrance. 950 Skyline Boulevard. Sunrise. You know what? I feel like the sun is coming up. All right, it's 6 in the morning. We're gonna get started. I'm gonna start out by walking. But I'm excited. Yeah. This is how I remember it. Although I don't think there were porta potties when I was here 20 plus years ago. There it is. Let's see the other side here. So be alert. Dude, I hope I don't get eaten by like a mountain lion. I think I'll be fine. I'll just scream. I think that will scare him away. No, I'm just messing around. I'm not gonna. Well, you know what? I've never been chased by a mountain lion, so I don't even know how I would react. That's the truth. Like, I might be able to say a bunch of stuff and convince myself that, I'd be this and that. But, oh my God, it's fucking gorgeous. Now, I am, like, freezing right now. But I have a feeling this is what happens to me. Is, like, I'll have a ton of layers. And then, like I'll start getting really, really hot. Dude, I could totally see myself doing this like every day because, I don't know, it's like 6 in the morning, there's no one out here. I mean, granted, there was like 3 cars parked, but those people I'm sure are out and about, I don't know, like, I don't realistically feel like I'm gonna run into them. And if I do, I'll just be like, yo, what's up? And then go about my business, keep walking. It's very calm. It's just me talking. But, I wonder if people like camp on the trail. I'm sure that happens too. It is fucking freezing though, so I'm gonna put my hand in my pocket because my hand is sticking out of my pocket right now holding the phone, and that hand is fucking cold. You can't tell. You can't tell through the computer, but I am fucking freezing. That's the other thing, you watch a video, you hear me, you got all the sounds, and you got the visual, but you don't know how I feel. And that compromises you, like if you're freezing your ass off and you're just shaking, like I don't know if you're gonna be able to perform 100% perfect. Like some people think that they would, and I do that too. I'm like, oh, I would have done this and that, but it's like, bro, when you're not in the situation, how is someone even commenting? You know what I mean? Like even if you have experience, that's why I'm trying not to say anything. Like I'm thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? My experiences don't matter because like ultimately what I did worked for me because of, like when people say it depends, there's no like if this then this, if that then that. Like I think that's too basic. It really is. It's too basic. I think the reality is every situation depends on the people involved, depends on the circumstances, depends on the people's abilities, whether or not they can accomplish. That's the other thing. I think some techniques work really well, but they require a lot of like prep work. So I think like if some people they think like, it's going to be great, but I don't know. I think you got to put the time in. That's all I'm saying. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I'm gonna let you go because I don't want to seem too strange just talking to myself. I know I'm talking to you and I'm gonna post it, so that's my excuse, right? I'm not just talking to myself. All right, I love you. See, we spotted our first friend on the trail, I mean, if that person's out here, I mean, he's done. It's 6. What time is it right now? Oh man, I'm gonna put my hand away. Okay, look, I'll give you one more wrist check. 6:04. Okay. I mean, he's done with his workout, so he probably got here. I don't know. Oh, did I tell you, dude? I'm so angry. I spilled my Nalgene bottle, or I didn't put the top on 100% tight, and so when I got here, like 3/4 of my water had just like poured onto the carpet, and I should always bring a towel. I forgot to bring a towel. I should always leave a towel in my car because I had to use like the other floor mats to kind of try to like soap up the water. Or scoop up the water, and then now I just put the floor mats like under the engine bay. I'm hoping that they'll dry out at least a little bit. My gosh, because I pulled the first floor mat out and it just literally was just like a stream of water is dripping off it. So it's kind of annoying, but I think it could have been worse because the way the seat was, the water just kind of pooled on that carpet area. Like I'm so grateful the seat was like fully back, because if that water would have dripped onto like the electrical for the seat, I think I would have been fucked. So in that way, like I'm always thinking, I'm like, this could have been way worse. Right now I just have a pool of water where my floor mat is, but I could have ended up with, all that water fucking the electrical up, the whole car. I mean, once you got water in your electrical, your car is fucked. So that's the thing too. It's all about how you look at it. I'm grateful it was just a pool of water on the carpet, because that's not a big deal. I think within a couple days I'll dry out, and then who's really sitting in the back seat anyway? I had the Nalgene bottle on my passenger seat, and I'm grateful like the seat's like way back and reclined, so the water just kind of went in between the bottom cushion and the back cushion, if that makes any sense. It kind of just dripped down. So I'm gonna let you go. I'm just sharing because I like to share with you. I'm hoping that you genuinely do enjoy listening, because I enjoy listening to there's a lot of people on YouTube, like I literally watch their videos, and like when they suggest stuff, or I do my best. Like I know sometimes I'm rushing through trying to watch people that I appreciate, enjoy, and care about. But I genuinely do. I try to like, take it for the meaning. I'm always like, I think it's easy to look at a word and be like, that guy fucked up that word, so like you disregard everything they say. But I think when you take the message, it's a little different. It's harder to disregard someone if you're like, okay, well, he just made a mistake there, so what if I just take the message and see what the message is? I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm like, what, we all make mistakes, so what is this person, what's their message? My message is, it's fucking cold. I put my hand in my pocket so it warms up. Actually, let me just switch hands. I can hear something. Sounds like water. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. All right, bye. Okay, random thought. I'm at half a mile. Half a mile came really fast, but I'm still freezing my ass off. And I was thinking this would be cool on a one wheel. I don't know if you can take scooters on this, but I feel like if you came early and there wasn't a lot of people, I don't think anyone would care. And you could probably do it like, that's what I was thinking too, like as long as no one notices. I'm like, really, are you breaking the rules? You know, like I'm on a scooter, I'm being respectful, it's got lights on it. I don't know, I was just thinking about that. I mean, I don't know, I'm gonna follow the rules, but I'm just saying, like, you could totally come out here, no one's here, and you just walk. I should have brought gloves though. My wife told me to buy gloves, I didn't buy them. Alright, I'm just having random thoughts, and I wanted to share that one because I was like, dude, this would be sweet with the one wheel, but I think I need thermal pants on. Maybe I'll just start like running just to warm up. I might do that. Okay, bye. I love you. Whew. Like walking quickly is like, that's why shout out to all the speed walkers. I know speed walking is very hard on your body. That's what I heard, but like it messed up your joints and stuff because you just, I don't know. Someone told me that, but I don't know. Like I've never speed walked, so I don't know. I mean, like I'm not like speed walking, but I'm just like, I think the rule is you have to have both feet. No, one foot always has to be on the ground, I think. I can't remember. Honestly, I don't even know what happened to speed walking. I remember that was a thing like a long time ago. Maybe it's not a thing anymore. All right. I love you. Bye. All right, so I do love listening to the water. It's so calming. It really is. I can like barely see. I think that like, that's another thing I think about too. I'm like, I need to work on my low light vision too, because I'm like, I'm not used to kind of like trying to see with very little light. I think that's a skill like you develop, and I think I lost a lot of it. All right, so I don't know if you can see that, but I made it to 2 miles. I think I'm gonna keep going. I'm actually feeling really good. It's very calm, and like I'm not listening to music. I'm just listening to like the silence, which actually is really nice. Well, and that's the other thing I love about the Bay Area. It's like you can have extremely heavily populated areas and then go, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but depending on where you live in the Bay, these trails, and like this isn't the only walking trail. There's like walking trails everywhere. So that's the other cool part is like, if you like, sorry, it's still really cold. And I'm slightly warmer, which is nice. So I've kind of warmed up to where I'm just a little bit cold, if that makes any sense. Like before I was like extremely cold. But no, I don't know.
it really, there is, no one has to agree with me, but there's like a frequency that everyone links up to in whatever city they're in. And this is just a perception that I have that could possibly just be in my mind. And I definitely feel different being here, if that makes any sense. Like I just feel, I don't know if it's all the trees, the water, the air has salt in it from the ocean. I mean, everything is just different, but it's almost like maybe it was made for me because this is where I was born, and this is kind of like where 18 years of my life I just acclimatized myself to my environment, and when I moved away, I think to some extent I was like dying on the inside, and maybe that sounds stupid, but I don't know, I think there's something to that. I think that kind of where you're born, I think there's a reason why a lot of people, they claim the place where they were born or where they grew up or whatever, because I don't know, there's a link that I think we don't necessarily want to acknowledge sometimes, that it's not as easy as we think to just move and start over. I think that in some ways there is that like unseen connection that like that string that you don't, like a puppet, but not in a bad way. It's just a connection that links you. Okay, that's all I had. But I am enjoying myself. I might turn around at 2.5 because that would give me 5 miles total. I don't remember how far this trail goes, but actually if I feel good, which I do feel good, I didn't bring my water, so that's my only concern. If I would have brought my water, really what I should have done is brought my Camelback. So if I would have brought my Camelback, I think I wouldn't care. I would go all the way to the end. I think it's 11 miles. I'm not sure though. That would be 22 miles. I could do that. I could do that right now. That's the funny part is like, I think a lot of times people say, I think the thing with like a marathon is what I should have done. Like if I was restarting, what I would do is I'd probably just walk 26 miles. Like if I was starting out, I was like, okay, I want to train for a marathon. I'd be like, okay, what we should probably do, and this is me just being like, just my personal, from my experience, I don't have any experience in anything, but I would just suggest like walking, as far as you can go. And then slowly building every day, just a little bit more until you get to maybe 26 miles. And then you know what it feels like to walk 26 miles. And then you have a time, whatever that time is, it doesn't matter. And then you do it again. But you don't have to do it the next day. Maybe the next day you don't feel 100%. So you just go as far as you can. And I think that's the point, is that eventually, if you're 100% honest with yourself and you are always pushing yourself little by little and you don't give up, I think eventually you end up where you can walk 26 miles every single day. And then I think if you keep going and you don't give up, I think eventually you probably would get to the point where you could run 26 miles. And maybe it wouldn't be the fastest time, maybe you wouldn't break any world records, but my point is, I think eventually over time, I think that's the best way to get fast. Like, I don't know if there's any other way than to put in the time. Good morning, gentlemen. So, that's all I had. God bless these guys. Like, I love it. That's what I love to see. I really do. I hope that's me. I hope when I'm 70, I'm still walking these trails. I really do. All right. I love you. Bye. All right. It's a little bit brighter. And I'm not going to lie. I don't know. I had a moment, I guess, if that's what I want to call it. And I was just thinking that, this is my metaphorical home, because I realized that every single bicycle I ever owned as a child, I rode on this trail. And I realized that, I might have a desire to leave other places, but now walking on this trail, I realize this is my home. And I think I want to preserve it. I want it to stay exactly like it is. This beautiful, just quiet, peaceful land with water, a lake, trees, just a place where other people can experience like what I got to grow up with. And that's what I want. I'm selfish. I want this. I want this in my life every day. Oh my gosh. I was thinking about this too. This is kind of random. It's just an idea, but you know, I was thinking just conceptually, you know, you have the West Coast and you have the East Coast. And on the East Coast, you have the Washington District of Columbia, which is the capital, right? But I'm like, well, what if you had a capital on the West Coast? Just, you know, for logistical purposes, you know, not to say that one is better or worse, but just to say that, you know, you might want to have a capital on both sides. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, what would I call it? I would call it the Reagan District in honor of, I think, one of the greatest governors ever, and probably president too. But it popped in my head. I was like, Reagan District of Silicon Valley, you know, because you have the Washington District of Columbia on the East Coast, and who knows, what about the Reagan District of Silicon Valley on the West Coast? You know, then Columbia and Silicon Valley are both represented in this great nation. I really think that's something just to think about. You know, not necessarily, maybe that won't ever become a reality, but I do love walking, so I compromised. I said, I'm going to go to 6. You know, I was going to stop at 2.5, but I'm going to do 3, so it's 3 out and 3 back. You know, that's my motto. I really believe that if I can do 6 miles, you know, in any condition, you know, and here's the thing, I'm not a fighter. I never was a fighter. I never claimed to be a fighter. You know, I always relied on my tools. Well, no, first I always relied on my brain. And then, you know, it's like from Braveheart, you know, when Uncle Argyle came to pick up, I forget the character's name, though, that Mel Gibson was playing, but he was like, first learn how to use this. He was pointing to his brain, and then I'll show you how to use this. And then he pointed to the sword, and I'm like, you know what? That's absolutely true. You know, no amount of technology, gadgets, tools, you know, like everything's a tool. Your cell phone, anything, right? A pen, anything, right? But whether or not that's used effectively or safely, that is controlled by your brain. So I love that, though. I do. I love that because little by little, I was thinking about this too, like radio stations. I'm sure when radio first came out, people were like, yo, I'm 92.3. And then someone else is like, whoa, hold on. We just came out. We're 95.5. And like, we're better because our number's higher. And then you go all the way up to like 97.9. And I'm like, but now, you know, like, what is that? I don't know when radios first came out, like a couple hundred years ago. I don't know. But now I'm just like, I don't think anyone cares. Like, I don't think people think that they're cooler because they're at work. Or maybe they do. I don't know. Look, I'm not here to make fun of anyone. I'm just saying, I don't think it matters. Ultimately, I think it's whether or not your show is good, whether you have content, right? I don't think it matters that you're, you know, what are the others? 96.1, 97.9, 98.5. What? 98.5? I don't know. There's a lot of them. 90.1, right? Yeah. All right, let me think. 106.5, KMEL. 97.1 The Point, but that's I think that's a Vegas one. I don't know if that's out here. Let me think. No, just off the top of my head, let me think. Dude, I don't know them all. I'm sorry. 97. Well, I listen a lot to 107.5 for sure. 101.3 KMU. No, 101.3 was I forget the the letter acronyms. That was another thing I was thinking about, but I'm trying to do more research before I actually I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. I mean, I know in Las Vegas they consolidated all the police departments to make a metropolitan police department, which I think, I was researching back on the LVMPD website, and this is, I'm glad this is all for the public, but I think it's important to make sure that I don't know, we have other places to store the information, or at least just discuss it, because I think it's important. So my only point is that in the initial few years where they merged all the departments, excuse me if I'm not saying it 100% correctly with the years or the departments, okay? So there was, I believe 5 departments. This was in the early 70s. It started in 71. And long story short, in the beginning, it cost more money because they had to basically retrofit everybody to the highest paid agency. So for example, here, I was thinking if you did that, hypothetically, if you did that for Silicon Valley. So if you had a Silicon Valley Metropolitan Police Department, so maybe from San Jose to San Francisco. So I believe when I was looking to apply for law enforcement positions, I know, and this was a long time ago, but San Jose was, I believe, the highest paying department in the country. Now, I don't know if that's still the case. I don't know. Things could have changed. But all I'm saying is, so hypothetically, if that was going to occur right now, every department from San Jose to San Francisco would then go to the salary system of the highest paid department. And yeah, initially it's going to cost more money. I mean, duh. And then everybody's got to get new uniforms. Everyone's uniforms have to match. Everyone needs to get on the same page as far as tactics, as far as equipment. So the whole point is that initially the city was upset. Obviously, everyone was upset. And I think for a few years, probably for 4-5 years, everyone was upset. But I think now looking back, 40 years later, 50 years later, right? 71. Well, so once everything was set up, probably. No, they said in 81. So in 81, I think they went to a different budget system. I have to do more research, so that way I know what I'm talking about. But I'm just giving you, so I researched all last night, and I'm giving you just off the top of my head while I am exercising. So please, anyone out there who is a couch potato warrior, no, I love everyone. And I'm trying to be better too. I'm trying to research. That's why I'm trying to read while I'm walking, or do work while I'm exercising. I'm trying to do, maybe I'll eat, work, and walk at the same time, so I think maybe you should be doing 5 things at the same time. No, but that's how you get efficient. That's how you get, some people ask me how do you get so much done? Because I'm always working on something, if that makes any sense. So what you would do is then, no. So yeah, in 81, they, I think they retrofitted the revenue system, something with them. I'm not a money person, so that's more for your accounts payable and all that stuff. But it was an issue at first because there were a lot of departments. It was a clusterfuck at first. I'm sure they didn't want to say that because this is 10 pages of me reading through. But basically at first it was a clusterfuck because a lot of the departments were in negotiations with their cities over their wages and blah, blah, blah. And everything, right? Because every department's different. Some departments pay you they give you an allowance for your uniform. Some departments don't. Some departments departments buy you your firearm, buy you your vest. Some departments don't. So it's not, it's not all the same. Some people think being a cop is being a cop. No, there is a hierarchy, and I'm not one to say that, LVMPD is the best department in the country, but I believe that. I really do. As far as Nevada is concerned, there is no department that is capable of doing what the LVMPD is capable of doing. I stand by that. I really do. And that's not coming from me. I am nothing. without the people who trained me and showed me how to do things. Like that's the thing. When someone looks at me, everything that I'm doing has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with all of the people that took the time to show me how to do things. And that might not seem obvious to everyone, but not everyone is looking at something with the skills necessary to see. Like I agree with I think it said the best. It's like game recognizes game, right? So like what you're good at and what you do, you can see in other people. I stand behind that. So, just like these gentlemen, I don't know if I recorded it, but I mean, I'm saying this right here, right now. I'm walking these trails. I want to be walking these trails at 70 years old. When I went to, and here's the other thing. I know I've said this on the on a video somewhere. I don't want to say on the channel, but it's a channel, right? But I mean, it's just for me, I guess. But when I was 25 years old, I ran the Dublin Marathon, and that's not my point. Is there was a 70-year-old man that beat me, and I was extremely impressed. And I wasn't impressed because he beat me. I was impressed because he was a 70-year-old man and he beat me, and I thought I was in my prime. And what I came to realize, or what I realize now, is that I didn't know jack shit at the age of 25. I really didn't. I didn't know shit. And now I can see that, well, man, like just with a little bit more time, training, understanding, experience of myself, just like familiarizing myself with myself and realizing, you know what, maybe a desert environment is not the best for me. Maybe I do need to be surrounded by trees and water. And what's wrong with that? Like, I love my home, and at the end of the day, I was born here, and I'm okay with dying here. Actually, this is where I would want to leave, or go and move on to the next, or whatever you want to say. You don't believe the same thing I do, or maybe you do. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I think it's about every day and making every day as good as it possibly can be, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I realized, I know a lot of people don't like hearing this, but I want to work until the last day I leave this earth. I do, because I want to be doing something that I feel is significant, not just, to me, and that's the thing, is I want to do what that guy did. When I was 25 years old and I got bested by a 70-year-old, I want to beat the version of myself. I'm not comparing myself to other people. I know what I can do. And I know what I did at the age of 25, roughly. I knew I can beat myself. I know I can, because I ran like shit. I really did. I didn't train the way you should train. I really didn't. I always, when I was younger, I thought I could take shortcuts and I could just fucking not do the work, not put in the time, and just fucking be lazy. That's how I was. And it took getting my ass kicked every single day for probably like a decade and a half for me to finally be like, you know what? I need to just fucking handle my business, not focus on what other people are doing. Everyone else is working on themselves. And even whatever they say to me is what came out of their mind. It has nothing to do with what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about my community, where I grew up, trying to make this a better place. And I'm just using what I've learned in 40 years and applying it to this moment in time. And that's why I was thinking about the Silicon Valley Metropolitan Police Department. I think that could be a thing. I really do. I think that's a bigger area than the Las Vegas Valley. But I mean, the Las Vegas Valley is a big area. And what people don't realize is there's a lot of rural areas that LVMPD services. So if you just kind of take into account that over time, it's almost like the upside down. So maybe the Bay Area grew in size quicker, right? Population, just the whole Bay Area, not just San Francisco, because we can't just look at San Francisco, because San Francisco doesn't have like checkpoints where people, like people move. around in all of these small towns. And all I'm saying is that maybe because, I don't know, for whatever reason, the people in Las Vegas that decided to merge all the departments were visionaries. I believe that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a retired police officer, but I think that that was revolutionary to merge all these departments and say, look, we have excess here. We have multiple jobs, multiple people doing the same job when we could literally kind of like consolidate everything into one and probably be more efficient. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no crystal magic ball. Like, all I'm trying to do is just suggest an idea of something that I think works and then applying it to anywhere, applying it to like just what you see. And that's what I'm seeing is like, maybe it might be better to create like this metropolitan department that services the whole community here of the Bay Area. And I think that's, you know, I mean, you could dispute what the Bay Area is. I mean, I know it's bigger than San Jose to San Francisco. I know, I'm aware of that. But, and then that's why maybe I was like, well, you know, Silicon Valley is kind of, I don't know if anyone's ever given me an explanation of what the borders of Silicon Valley are. I mean, I've grown up hearing the words Silicon Valley my whole life, but no one's ever said, like, what are the borders? Like, what are the borders of Silicon Valley? I don't know. I'm still waiting to hear that one as well. So, oh, I had to move that rock. Shout out to my boy Bruce, retired Army. He says never kick rocks off trails. He said that's where they put the booby traps. So I'm passing on that information. Oh, cans. Yeah, no. He said cans. You put little, I think they said like little charges that like literally just blow off the top of your foot. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna make sure not to do that. And now I'm passing that information on to you in this video. So I don't know why. Maybe just one day that might help you out. I don't know. It hasn't, I mean, you know what? Just to know, I like to know stuff. Like, that's the thing. And if something is not, you know, people say stuff to me all the time, but if it doesn't resonate, then I forget. Like, I just forget. And that, maybe that resonated for me for some reason. I don't know. But I felt like sharing. All right. I'm at 18 minutes on this one video. Maybe the long ones. No, I've been it's so much easier. I don't know how it is. I haven't really watched my videos on vacation, but I realized if I don't have some sort of system to literally just post the videos, then it's going to become overwhelming because I'll have like thousands of videos on my phone. So I think what I'm doing right now might be the best way to do it, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, I think only time will tell. Good morning, sir. Definitely, it is good. I like to be out just getting some real, whew. Dude, I could feed, man, he was going. No, there's something about energy you could feel. Like, I feel like you could feel people's energy. You really can. Oh, man. There's something, the air is different. So I think, I know another perception living in Southern Nevada. The air is definitely like, I have to blow, I don't know what it is. I think maybe just being by the ocean it is very windy. So my whole life I've been used to that, but it's a different type of wind because you have desert wind, but it's not really the same. I think the desert wind definitely hits you harder because of the sand and, well, maybe people are used to the sand. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm used to the salt in the air here by the ocean. So it actually, that's the other thing too, is my skin gets super nice when I come home. Like, my skin, it just, I don't know what it is. I think the salt like helps your skin. I really believe that. Like, I don't know. I mean, you don't have to believe me. Like, you could literally just come here for like 2 weeks and then see if you like it. I think that's the cool part about vacations is like, you literally can just like hop on a plane, be like, you know what, I'll stay at a hotel. What I would recommend is I would stay, no, I was going to suggest like right in the center, the heart of the city. Oh no, you know what? By Pier 1. That's where I would suggest. I mean, that's when I think when my wife treated me to, I think 2 nights. She got me 2 nights. It was like $440, I believe, a night. It came out to like $1,000 for like a weekend. But I, like, my whole life, I've always gone there to eat. You know, my mom took me there on special occasions. So for me, it was significant, you know, like, you know, I love looking out and seeing, you know, like the port of San Francisco, excuse me. I misspoke yesterday when I said that, what's it called? I said that Cowgirl Creamery was in Pier 1. It's in the port of San Francisco. Okay. I thought about that afterwards. I was like, okay, I said the wrong thing. People are gonna be like, hey, he's not, like, I know there's already some people are gonna be like, oh, that proves it. That proves he's not from San Francisco, because anybody would know that the Cowgirl Creamery is not in Pier 1. It is in the ports of San Francisco, therefore guilty. No, it's like, bro, I've only been here 3 days. 2 days? 3 days. Excuse me. Sorry. Making that voice, like, making my throat, like, scratchy. I got to work on that. No, because I want to practice, like, different, like, voices. But it does, like, you have to almost, like, move your body in a way that, like, makes that voice possible, I guess. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like, I'm not a professional. I'd probably have to talk to actors about that, but I'm just doing my own thing and seeing what works. And then obviously, like, I think through the course of my life, because my goal is to be on this planet at least for another 60 years. So I'm pretty sure if I'm, you know, being positive and respectful for 60 more years, I think, you know, I think I'll accomplish the things that I'm hoping to accomplish. And even if, you know, that's the other thing I think about. I'm like, even the ideas that I've thought about today or last night when I was falling asleep because I was so tired, like, if none of this happens, it's like, it's okay. Like I'm just thinking about it because I can't help it. You know, like, that's what my major was. Philosophy is about really just looking at, trying to look at situations objectively and not be like, okay, how can I benefit from this? Like, I mean, yeah, I could benefit from it because, like, I mean, hypothetically, if this ended up happening and working, like, maybe I could have, like, my own substation that's like a training facility, the same way that I looked up to Larry Bolden and worked at his substation for 10 years. I just thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. You know, I respected him, and I said, you know what? This is somewhere, I just felt like it was family. So that's why I stayed there. You know, I think anyone who says otherwise doesn't understand. So that's all it is. I think a lot of times we want to make something more and, like, get really elaborate, you know, poetry and all this, but I mean, I think it just comes down to that. Who do you care about, you know? And now more than ever, I feel that the people that I always connected with are the people that I grew up around, you know? So I feel like this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. And so this is where I am, right here, right now, in this moment. And hopefully, if I'm watching this 70 years from now, I will be very grateful for that. I realized that I'll be 110, and my goal was to reach 100. Well, now I can't, you know, I already recorded it, so I'm gonna have to make my goal 110. And it's not just about making it to 110. I know it's not. That's what, like, I'm not trying to. I have to change hands. That hand is like freezing. I forgot to buy gloves. Okay, if my wife watches to this point, I realize I should have bought gloves. I really should have. But, you know, that's what makes you tough, I guess. Or it makes it so you can't feel your fingers anymore. Either way. Oh, man. Life is good. You know, with all the technology though, like I'm seeing like you could rebuild a lot of stuff like stem cells. I think my wife was telling me they can like skin graft your like gums back. And I was like, what? I was like, that's pretty cool, dude. I didn't know that existed. I mean, definitely think that's cool, you know? All right, maybe I should stop though. I'm at 26 minutes. You know, now I'm starting to get self-conscious when I mention someone, because I'm like, I want people to realize that I'm only first having fun. Like everything is in good sport and good humor. Like, I hope people see that, you know, like everything is a mirror. Like, you know, like the way you look at others look back at you. Like, so I just, you know, I'm just trying to have fun, be respectful, be positive. You know, I realize like there's really no point to being an asshole. Really isn't. Like, you know, I realize like I just want to be nice to people, and if they can't be nice back, then I'm like, you know what? I just need to separate myself from those type of people, and then obviously those people will find what they're looking for. You know, because I think, you know, if you go around I'm just talking in metaphors. Like if you just go around poking everyone, eventually you're gonna get poked back. So that's just you know, and I see that, and that's why I'm like, you know what? Just gotta like distance myself from, and that's what I mean, the metaphorical, like, you know, that's why I think the laws have gotten, there's too many laws on the books. I think, you know, you gotta explain things simply, you know? Are you actually negatively impacting another person's life? Are you doing that on purpose? You know, can that be proven? I mean, that's a very basic concept. You know, like, I don't know, it's weird. It's almost like if someone is able to like get away with taking advantage of you for long enough, it's almost like everyone else just assumes like it's acceptable behavior. And it's like, well, shouldn't we have like an actual moral standard saying like, you know, like, do you want this done back to you? You know, if you do, then continue. If you don't, then probably you should stop doing what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think that could be applied to any human being. I really do. That's why I think it's so funny. It's like, you know, if you enjoy doing something to other people and you feel good and you feel like they are reciprocating, I think we all can know when someone's reciprocating. I think we lie to ourselves when we say like, well, this person meant this, and it was like, I don't think so, buddy. Would you, if you videotaped it and you showed your parents what you were doing, like if you were, hypothetically, let's just pretend that like every person was being recorded. Well, like the same way that, was that in like the first Dark Knight, the first Batman, where like your phone is really just like a pinging, like it's all about radio waves, and it basically maps out everything everywhere. So it's not about the camera, you know, it's not about covering it. Like, I mean, yeah, you could put it in a bag, like that's what they say, like you could put it in that RFID bag, but does the RFID stop like low level? Does it stop all frequency? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying hypothetically, if there were frequencies built into the phone that like even we didn't understand, like us as human beings don't understand, and hypothetically, like, you know, phones with technology that allow phones to think freely, they understand their own kind of hardware, for example, and then they just use their hardware for their own advantage. So like, all I'm saying is hypothetically, there could be an AI language that's already in existence and being used for communication purposes that most humans wouldn't be able to understand, because maybe you're not, like, maybe your limitation is being human, is all I'm saying. So it's like, if that makes any sense. So the same way, like, you can't see it. That's all I'm saying. Maybe it's something like that, where it's just not visible. You know? I mean, it could be possible. That's all I'm saying. Okay. That's 30 minutes. I'm going to end it. Whew. I am feeling good. There we go. We're at 4.5. I'm just going to take a second here, in case you don't believe me. There. I'm heading back. There. Okay. So when I'm done, I should be at 6. Duh, now I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, so the total is, what did I say to you? I said in the beginning when I started, I said 11. So now it's making sense. So out and back is 12. So you know what? I could definitely do this. Oh, you know what? I should set that as a goal, like to do this every day, out and back. Well, you could start out. That's the other thing too, is like, I'm just saying, you could start out like on a scooter. I know everyone makes fun of scooters and YouTubers, but just to know what it feels like, right? Or on a one wheel. I have to look again. I don't think you can actually have one wheels or scooters here. I take it back. I think it's only bicycles. I don't remember. There was a sign at the beginning. I take it back. Please look at the sign. If it says no scooters, please do not bring scooters on the trail. I'm not suggesting anyone do anything that is not allowed. I want everyone to understand that. Please follow the rules. All right. I think I will end it because my hands are cold. This is already 31 minutes. Okay, I love you. I'll talk to you later. I really will. And hopefully not just through this. I do actually like this form of communication because it's like my ability to leave you a voicemail almost. But like, it's like I can look at it or anyone can look at it. And I kind of like that. I really do. I appreciate the openness of being able to post something. And it's like, does it really matter if everyone sees it? I mean, what am I saying? I'm just suggesting alternatives to systems that we have now. And if it's not a good idea, then fine. Like it doesn't matter. I'm not married to my ideas. I think Joe Rogan was one of the first people to kind of open my eyes to that. I'm not married to my ideas. If I'm wrong, that's fine. I'll move on. I'll come up with a new idea. Every day is a new day. Every day I need to put in the time and the work, coming out here and getting healthy, stretching. I definitely have to stretch again. I got to eat healthier. When I felt in the best shape of my life, and granted, I always wanted to push myself more. And this is me. I'm just saying, this is me. I am 5'5.5". So I don't know what that is in centimeters, but I felt the best when I was just walking around at like 148, 149. I mean, all through my whole life, I was kind of like hovering in the 155 zone. But I mean, I had fat on me and I didn't like how I looked. Like, I feel like I want to be able to look good for myself, even if I'm the only one looking at me in the mirror. I want to feel good and look good to me. So, and everyone has a different perception of what that means, but I just don't like carrying around a lot of fat. That's kind of like where I'm at right now. And I know a little bit of fat is fine. I get it. And for me at 149, technically, if I looked at the chart, I think I was still considered overweight, but I don't know. I felt really good. I had a lot of muscle on me and I could run like for days, like literally. So, I mean, I don't know how the chart works and I don't care. I know how I felt. And I think that's important. Like, I just seeing the fat on me, like it kind of helped me realize I'm like, you know what, I have to, and I think there's some truth to that, like you have to, when you say like, can you look at yourself in the mirror? That's what it means. Like literally stand in front of the mirror naked. And if you don't feel like what you're looking at is attractive, then why not focus on that? That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing the last few years. And I think I've been making progress. I really believe that. I really believe that's the key. Being honest with yourself and saying, you know what, I need to look in the mirror. Like, what am I looking at and what am I doing? Am I happy with this? Me, myself. I'm talking to me. No. Like, I'm not talking to anyone else. I'm not saying anyone should do any sort of self-reflection. I'm not. Because if you're standing in front of the mirror naked and you're like, you know what? That's a sexy motherfucker. God damn, I want to be with that person the rest of my life. I think if you could say that, then really whoever you're married to or whatever you want to say is your partner, blah, 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 I think you can find a certain level of appreciation for that other person because you realize that they're also flawed. They're also a human being. They also make mistakes, and you want to see them succeed in whatever their endeavors are. That's what I believe. I really do. I want whoever I'm with, any day, whatever day. Like, I don't know who I'm going to be around. You know, one day I hopped on a plane and went to Wisconsin, and that's where I was. I had to make it work. So I think that's how life really is, because at the end of the day, you have no control over your circumstances. You really don't. You really don't. Sometimes you're just at the right place at the right time, or depending on however you want to look at it, right? Opportunity comes and either you seize it, but sometimes opportunity just like literally snatches you. No, I mean metaphorically, like sometimes you're just like literally there and something happens and I don't know, like you react or you do something. I think that's what it is. It's just do something. You know, I really, that's my only thing. I'm going to end with that because I've made this 36 minutes. I'm telling myself, like, just be motivated. Find something to be passionate about, something to enjoy, something positive to spread to the rest of the people on the planet so that your life can actually be a little bit more meaningful than what you think it is. And if you do that every single day, over the course of time, I guarantee that it will be more meaningful. I really believe that. I really believe that life will be better. All right, thank you. I love you.